Welcome back, Plano Elementary, from your spring break. Please stand for our pledge and pause. Salute the flag. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our pause. P. Positive attitude in all you do. A. Act responsibly in all situations. W. Work hard toward success. S. Show respect to self and others. You may be seated.
We will now be announcing our weekly awards. The Golden Shoe goes to a second grade class, Miss Kate's class. The Attendance Panther goes to a first grade class, Miss Mayo's class. The Spirit Snake goes to a fifth grade class, Miss Beale's class.
Well, good morning, Plano Elementary. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I hope you had a wonderful spring break. I do want to make one important announcement. We have a guest guidance counselor with us for the next 2.5 weeks. Her name is Miss Downey. She was a guidance counselor in Drakes Creek for many years. She has lots of experience. We're so thankful to have her, and we also look forward to Miss Yates returning in about 2.5 weeks. Alright, so today's Essential 55 is talking about being polite, and we're just going to jump right into it. If you are asked a question in conversation, ask a question in return. For example, family and I went shopping. What about you? Did you have a nice weekend? It is only polite to show others that you are just as interested in them as they are in you. This is a skill that takes a while to learn. Actually, I've met many adults who have yet to master it. And in all honesty, many never will. I tell my students that when they are talking to someone, they should make sure not to monopolize the conversation. We have all encountered that person who just won't shut up, and I don't want any of my students to grow up to be that type of person. I want them to understand that you are far more likable and respectful when you ask about the thoughts and opinions of others. It is simply an easy way to let someone know that you are interested in who they are and what they have to say. When students walk into my classroom, I usually say something like, "Good morning, Terry. How was your weekend?" And he will respond, "Great, Mr. Clark. I went to the beach with my cousins." Then Terry will just run off to his seat. I always call the student back and tell him, "Hey, I just showed interest in what you did this weekend, and instead of showing me the same courtesy, you just ran off to your seat. Let's do that again. Terry, how was your weekend?" Terry will then respond, "Great, Mr. Clark. I went to the beach with my cousins. How was your weekend?" For kids, this takes a lot of practice, but the outcome is worth it. Asking questions is also a skill that comes in handy when being interviewed. When my Harlem students went for their interviews to get into Manhattan East, an academically challenging junior high school, the admissions coordinator asked them who some of their favorite authors were. Many of my kids told me that after they named their favorites, they also asked the interviewer, "Do you have any authors you were particularly interested in reading?" It shows a higher level of consciousness on the part of the child and shows that they are aware that the other person has interests, such as reading, as well. The same applies not just for interviews, but for any conversation. This rule is about letting people know you are interested in them, and the results you get when you do that. When I first started working at Snowden Elementary School in North Carolina, I made sure to spend time talking to my students about the things they were interested in. I asked them about their likes and dislikes and what they did for fun. I wanted them to know I cared about who they were, and I wasn't there just to teach them out of a book. In my, in my first year of teaching, there was a student named Jason who was having a birthday party at his grandparents' trailer during the weekend. Jason invited me, along with almost every other teacher in the school, but when I asked around, I found out no other teacher was going. I told Jason I would be there, and I had kids asking me every 5 minutes if I was really going. That Saturday, even though I thought I had convinced them of my intentions, I don't think any of those kids expected me to pull up in that driveway. When I did, they all flooded around me like I was some kind of celebrity. We played freeze tag and hide and seek and had an incredible time. That day went a long way in terms of developing a relationship with the students and getting them to trust me. The next Monday, when I asked the kids to behave and pay attention, there was a different look in their eyes. They respected me and they listened. There are many ways to show interest in others, from being an active listener and unselfish conversationalist to making special efforts to show others you care about them. The bottom line is that it gets results. So I think we have a perfect opportunity coming back from a break. We just had spring break, and now is a great time for you to ask your teacher, to ask your classmates, hey, what did you do over spring break? Don't just talk about what you did, but show interest in others. And that politeness will take you very far. All right, I hope you have a great week, Plano. We'll see you out and about.